Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I don't know if you guys remember Cassie. She was in a relationship with PDD for a very long time, like 10 years, about 10 years. And she is suing PDD for a whole bunch of things. Some very weird stuff he's done to her, some very graphic stuff in the deposition, including R-aped. He has R-aped her, DV. He's blown up a man's car if he had a suspicion that this man was interested in her. He has forced her to have relations with male sex workers while he's watching and doing stuff while watching. It's just a whole bunch of weird stuff. He's introduced her to a lot of substances and alcohol and all that stuff, and she's had to endure all of that for like almost 10 years now. Mind you, Cassie was about 19 years old when she met Diddy, and he was 37 years old. That's like an 18-year gap. I know that's like nothing in Hollywood per se, but when the person is this young and they're the woman, when a young woman meets this man that is like 37 when you're 18, 37 is ancient. Imagine the level of control and influence that this evil man had on this little girl. 19 years old. 19 years old. That is practically a baby. A baby. And it didn't take like years for him to get involved with her. Like she was signed, they met. She was around 19. He signed her right away, and a few months after, he started seeing her and started putting her through all that torture. It wasn't like she turned into like a 20-plus-year-old woman. She was still a teen, barely in her 20s, when this man started doing all these weird, crazy things to her. 19 years old. Can you imagine to have to go through that? I can't even imagine, and I am like ancient, and I can't even imagine having to go through this at 19 years old. The confusion, the control that this person has on you, the hold that they have on you. It's like you're not even responsible for your own life. You're scared that if you try to break free from this person, they will harm you, and if you stay, you endure even more pain. I just feel so bad for her. I don't know. I'm not in Hollywood. I don't want to be that embedded into Hollywood. I don't want to. But if you're already in Hollywood, I don't know. I just urge everybody to be just so careful, because it's a dark web. It is a very dark web of lies and torture and manipulation and all the evil that you can think of in this world. It's for parents who have their little kids out there in this world. You have to do whatever it is that is in your power to be there with your kids. You need to be so close to them. You need to micromanage everything, and you cannot afford to be starstruck. You cannot afford to be starstruck. You cannot afford to let people influence your decision. You cannot afford to let people cloud your judgment just because you're infatuated by someone. You are there for your child. You are there to protect your child. And unfortunately, sometimes there are parents that'll sell their children for fame or for money, because that's what they want. They're living vicariously through the child, and they don't care to protect their child as long as that child can bring home a check. And it's so sad. And for young people that are out there trying to break into that world, it's not worth it to lose so much for what? Now, Cassie, I'm sure, is very financially stable. She is doing good for herself, but at what cost? Because look, all the trauma that she had to take with her. Even though she left the relationship a while ago, she's just now filing for this lawsuit. It doesn't matter if she wins this lawsuit. It does not matter how much money she gets from this man from this lawsuit. It doesn't matter if she gets quote unquote justice. All of that trauma she gets to live with for the rest of her life. It does not go away. Yes, you may get some help to where you do better, but you get to deal with this for the rest of your life. Is it really worth it? Is it worth it? Sometimes we do a lot just for a paycheck, just for money, and a lot of the times it's for fame. A lot of the time it's for the illusion we think Hollywood is. It's not worth it. Whatever the reason is you're doing it for, it's not worth it. Nobody put a weapon to your head to make you do certain things. But I do understand that when you're this young or when you're so desperate, you can do things that you would normally do under different circumstances. It's just so sad that she had to go through that. Do you know how much that I can't even imagine. Like, this lawsuit, it was so painful to read. It was so painful to just, I was going through the pages like, what is this? Is this real life? What kind of demonic 37-year-old person would do this to a kid? And by the time this relationship ended, this man was in his 40s, almost 50. And you were still doing this to this child. How sick in the head do you have to be? I hope he gets everything that he's got coming to him. Everything. I hope they throw the entire book at him. This man had no business to do to this child or anybody else in his life that he's abused thus far. He had no business to do that to them. And that lady Kim, who knows if she really died from pneumonia. Apparently she was gonna come out with a tell-all book, so this man could have had something to do with her quote-unquote pneumonia. My heart goes out to Cassie. I just feel so bad for her. I pray that she gets her justice, and I pray that she continues to have strength to like raise her children and move on with her life. But unfortunately, this will never go away. This will stay with her regardless of how much money she gets from this man, regardless of whether or not they put him on death row and they execute him. She will still have to live with those memories. That is the sad part. One day all this will be a distant memory, and then the next it could come charging at you from every corner, and you will feel trapped and you won't know what to do with yourself because you develop coping mechanisms to move on in life, but these things don't ever leave you, and you never know which day they're gonna come charging at you. You never know which day those memories will come flooding back and paralyze you. I say all this to say, if you're an artist and you want to, I'm not saying like just because you have a talent to act, you should suppress that because Hollywood is evil. But when you're moving in there, please be on high alert. Trust zero people. Don't trust anybody in Hollywood. I don't care what they tell you. You don't have friends in Hollywood. Do not mingle with these people. Stop going to weird parties, and then things happen to you, and then you're gonna be quiet for 600,000 years torturing yourself, and then 600,000 years later you're gonna come out and talk about it, but you've already been tortured. So it's better to avoid being tortured than to retaliate after the torture happens, because you're not going to be able to switch your memories on and off. So please beware, please be careful, protect yourselves. Parents, protect your children. Stop idolizing these people. They're evil, and you do not need to look at them as your savior, because you will not be able to go back and change the worst thing that could happen to your child. You will not be able to go back and change the worst thing that could have ever happened to you. You may win the lawsuit, but what's happening inside of you? There's turmoil. There is turmoil. You don't have peace. You traumatized. Now you're probably going to have to be on meds because you cannot, you don't have peace. You have anxiety. You have all kinds of issues because you decided to give up your rights to protect yourself for a little bit of fame, for a paycheck, for some money. It's not worth it. If you want to sing, you have a passion for singing, and you need to be signed onto a label, you can still do that, but make sure whoever's signing you is signing you for your talent. Make sure whoever is giving you a gig, make sure whatever you audition for, if you get the role, make sure it's for your talent. Make sure it's because they like how you read these lines. They like the emotion that you give when you read those lines. Make sure it's because of your talent and not because of what people think they can get from you. Sometimes even if you have talent, they will still try to downplay your talent so they can get you to do stuff that you don't want to do, but they know you might give in because you want the money or you want the fame, or you're so impressed and intimidated you will give in. So they will downplay your talent so that they can make it look like they're doing you a favor and get you to do things that you don't want to do. You are the only person responsible for yourself and for your life. When you go in those rooms, sometimes most of the times your people can't go with you. Get to go in those rooms by yourself. There are meetings that you have to take by yourself. You have to be very aware. You have to be extremely aware of what's happening in this evil world if that's where your dreams take you. Anyway, I can't stress this enough. Be careful, protect yourselves, because again, I say winning the lawsuit will not take away the trauma. Anyways, I am done with this. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment sections. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. But until then, I hope to see you in the comment section. Bye.